Hello, friends. Happy day. Happy day, whatever day you're watching this. Today, I'm going to dive a little bit into I'm freaking overwhelmed with happiness and gratitude right now. And sharing a little bit of my story and whatever else comes up. I'm Caroline. If you are new here, I hop in here, share my lived experience, life experience, some golden nuggets I picked up along the way. I am somebody who has always searched outside of themselves for validation, for success, for control, for reassurance, for safety, for security. And I've lived my whole life on a journey of returning to myself in the most magical, beautiful ways. And you could look at my life from the outside right now and think, whew, she has got it all pulled together. Everything looks really awesome. She's successful. She's happy. She's surrounded by love. She knows her worth. And let me tell you, I did not create this myself. And it took a lot of dark places to get here. And I'm eternally grateful for those dark places. Whether it was growing up a ballerina and learning how to manipulate my food so that I looked a certain way and could perform a certain way to meet somebody else's standards. Whether it was high school, started using drugs and drinking at the age of 13, sneaking out of my parents' house, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing with probably creepy people just to feel seen and feel heard and be cool and accepted and feel unique and other. Whether it was changing myself completely, conforming to a certain religion, to get sober, to try to do all these things, to gaining a lot of weight when I first went to college because I was partying and I was free and I didn't have any responsibilities and I was lost and was always trying to fill this hole inside. Whether it was that turning the other end of the spectrum into a deep eating disorder where I couldn't go a single day without running 3 miles, knowing everything that went into my body, ripping myself apart, deep depression, more drug use, going to rehab, hospitals, a manipulative boyfriend that lasted 3 years that I definitely engaged in, mental torment, becoming the shell of a human being. Time and time again. Finding myself in these situations. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't have a glimmer of any sort of anything except for the smallest little nugget of hope that has always been in my heart. And I am now understanding that when there was no outside glimmer, there was that inside glimmer. And that inside glimmer was my truth, my essence, my authenticity, whatever you want to call it. It was me, my soul, which is just pure love. And I would put myself in situations that would prove that I wasn't worthy. I would put myself in situations that proved that I couldn't get it. And it was all rooted in self-sabotage because I didn't believe on a conscious level that I was worthy of any of that. So what did I do? I did a lot of learning. I did a lot of exploring. I did a lot of uncovering. I have degrees on my wall. I have books of things that I've studied. I have certifications and a ton of random stuff. Went to nursing school, went to social work school, got my substance abuse counselor certificate, personal trainer, nutrition, what have you. I even am certified to help kiddos with autism. I have a lot of tools on how to rewire thoughts, bodies, mechanics, patterns, eating behaviors, social interactions. And no matter what certificate I got, no matter who I tried to prove it to, who I tried to help, who I tried to save, whether it was the boyfriend who I know has so much potential, but didn't ever walk the walk and just fucked around and did drugs all day. Whether it was the client that I knew had so much potential, but they didn't give a rat's ass about themselves, and I was pouring more into them than they were pouring into themselves. And nowhere along the way did I find the peace that I have now. Because in me wanting to be a coach, in me wanting to be a therapist, in me wanting to save all these people from homelessness and drug addiction, from me wanting to save these people in the hospital and be the best part of their worst day, I was losing myself, trying to prove and manipulate other people into being their best so that I felt worthy of being my best. So what did I do? A little over a year ago, I completely devoted to myself. And it's looked different along the way, but I started making decisions because I wanted to, with no explanation. I started choosing me. I started following the pull of my heart, following the pull of the universe when it didn't make sense, when I was scared, when I didn't know what was going to happen next. And everything has worked out better than I can even imagine. I've done things to prove that I can be disciplined, prove that I can have the body that you want me to have, to prove that I can be the girlfriend that you want me to be, to prove that I can be the daughter you want me to be, the coach, the teacher, the counselor. When all I needed to do was stop proving and just allow myself to be. And now I am on a deep mission of being me every moment of every day to the fullest of my capacity instead of doing anything. 1 year ago, I got a really bad concussion. Gave it to myself. I'm so grateful for it. It was literally the universe's way of saying, where you are so much bigger than this. You need to level up, sister. Really bad concussion. For weeks, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't work. I couldn't work out. I couldn't move. I couldn't look at lights. I couldn't read. I just like had to be with myself. And yes, I've done a lot of work along the way, but there's so many distractions in our environment that was the first time that I couldn't do anything to distract myself. I was crawling out of my skin. Because at this point, I was working 3 jobs, giving. Trying to do my first bodybuilding first bodybuilding ever. Learning how to be a bodybuilder, prepping for my first competition, figuring out who the heck I am, get this concussion, can't do anything. And I was making more money than I'd made before. I was living on my own. It was all fine. Well, I was with roommates, but I loved it. Got this concussion, couldn't do anything. Literally became apathetic to my external world. I took all my tax refund money because luckily I was working jobs that the government was keeping from me. Got some money in my pocket, ran away to California, and I said, I have no plan for this trip. All I know is it's me, my dog, and the sunshine and the beach, and I'm going to follow wherever my soul takes me. It was the first time in my life I hadn't had a plan, and I just trusted what was in here to guide, to keep me safe. I get out there. I think there was a few days where I didn't have any money or something because I'd spent it all on the Airbnb or whatever it was. And I was the happiest I'd ever been. Because I didn't give a rat's ass about anything else except for my joy and my happiness. And since then, things have unfolded beyond my imagination. Quit my jobs while I was out there. Haven't worked for somebody else a day since. Started my own business on March 22nd of 2024. Supporting people in the transformation that I've found. Because there is no bigger magic than when you start to put you first. And I am witness, I am example, I will speak it time and time again. When you start choosing you over everything, choosing you with love, engaging in daily habits that are rooted in the love you have for yourself, choosing nutrition and movement habits that are helping you feel your best, not manipulating. And yes, I know I spent the entire year bodybuilding. I had to hold on to something, I had to hold on to something, and maybe I'll reframe it in the future. Because I really do love that sport. Manipulating to fit a mold, to get an approval, to become a professional. I don't need any more certifications. I don't need to read another goddamn book about nervous system regulation or the subconscious mind, because all the tools that I have right now from my lived experience alone are enough to create a life beyond my wildest dreams, and it keeps unfolding that way. Yes, I'm going to keep acquiring skills and knowledge and experience and understanding, because I do love to coach, because I do love to offer those things. Never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur. Still don't really know how to run a business, but we're doing it. We jump in with 2 feet and then we figure it out. Because at the end of the day, and this better resonate, and if anything tells you this isn't true, it's false. You have your own back 100% of the time. You are sitting here, standing here, whatever you're doing, driving. In this moment, you have survived absolutely everything that has come your way, and you are the one that's gotten you out of that situation. You are the one that's pulled your pants up and put on your big boy, big girl hat and kept on going. You have never given up. You have never given up on you. So now isn't it time to live in the joy and the happiness and survive that? Isn't it now time to make intentional choices and let all that false shit go that says you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that you have to prove, that you have to show, that you have to manipulate anything? No. You are enough. You always have been enough. This whole process of shedding layers, I'm now calling it unbecoming. You're unbecoming everything the world has been just to become you, because you're just being. That is all you need to do. And guess what? It is the most uncomfortable thing, because you are not used to it. Your nervous system is not used to it. All the stories in your head that say, I have to produce, I have to perform, I have to hustle, they're going to scream, because they're trying to keep you safe, because they're saying, hey, we operate in a world that tells us this is how we succeed. But in your heart, you know that is not true. You know, like yesterday's video, rest is productive. That creating things that light you up is the most beneficial thing you can do. Because what we put out into the world is exactly what we get. What we think is exactly what we get. How we behave is exactly what we get. So if you're getting terrible situations, car keeps breaking down, people keep being rude to you, job keeps firing you, money keeps rolling out the window, it's because that's how you're treating yourself. Your external environment is a direct representation of what you're engaging in within. So think about it. If you start choosing you, choosing the happiness, choosing the joy, embracing and embodying you, which is infinite pure love, right? The soul and essence of every human being is just pure love. So if you just stay in that center and operate from that place and make decisions from that place and behave from that place, what do you think is going to come back towards you in tenfold? And no, I'm just not some girl on the internet telling you this is true, because the things that I'm experiencing in my life right now, yes, the pain, yes, the magic, yes, the joy, is beyond my comprehension. Like, I can't even put it into words. I am, 26 years old. I can never remember, because I thought I would be dead by the age of 21. I'm not even kidding. I didn't ever see my life as an adult, because I would even drive around with a seatbelt on, because I was like, if I get in a car accident, I don't want to live. I would do any drug that anybody put in front of me, even if I hated the way it felt. I would manipulate every grain of rice that went into my body, every caloric output, just to feel like I had a handle on this thing. Was at war with my body, was lying to everyone around me, putting on the pretty face, when inside I was nothing. Tried to exit this planet a few times in my life. Like, there is not a maladaptive coping mechanism that I haven't tried. I even got the scars. Like, there are things that I have done that break my heart. But that doesn't define me. Though I love every version of me. I love the girl that was trying to feel seen. I love the girl that was trying to find validation in a relationship where she never even had an inch of room to be herself. Where she was providing, where she was mothering to feel good enough. I love the part of me that felt like there were so many things wrong with me that I had to change it all. And now I get to unbecome all of that to become being me. So how can you start choosing yourself today, right now, in this moment? What can you start saying no to? Even if it's the job that pays your bills. Because guess what? Money doesn't rule the world. It's actually made up. I was talking to my friend at coffee the other day. She was transferring to a new bank account because she's moving out of state. And it's just numbers on a screen, right? Like made of zeros and ones or whatever. She needed to close her account to open a new account. So she got a check with all the money from the one place, like tens of thousands of dollars, to put into a different account. The check didn't work. It had to be cleared. And there was a moment in time where there was just like, it didn't exist. Because it doesn't exist. It's one of these systems in our world that is used to keep us scared, keep us working for somebody else to make them money for their success. But what about you? Is it benefiting you? Genuinely, is it benefiting you? Then say no to it. Is there a dream in your heart that you've always wanted? Do you want to move to Paris and become a cookbook writer? Traveling is not a luxury because we get to experience all these different things. Slow mornings are not a luxury because it's putting you first before other people's personalities and problems and perspectives, because that's not you either. Maybe you want to backpack across the world, bike across the country, swim with sharks in Malibu, Hawaii. Do you want a hot air balloon in Switzerland? Do you want to write a book about your life story to empower somebody else? Do you want to learn how to do yoga and start teacher training so you can give something that has empowered you, make a safe place for other people to do it? Do you want to illustrate children's books? Do you want to start a freaking podcast and a YouTube channel and an Instagram and run a business and create cool things? Do you want to connect with individuals? Do you want to sit at the old folks' home and listen to their stories and write books about it to give other people solace? Do you want to learn how to train dogs? Do you want to volunteer at the Humane Society? Do you want to start bird watching and photography? What do you want to do? Not what do you think somebody else would think you should do right now. What do you want to do? What do you want to do right now? Go freaking do it. Because you've had your back along the way, right? So chances are you're going to have your back along the way moving forward as well. I believe in you because I believed in myself, and look at where I am. And I just know things are going to keep getting better and I can't even comprehend it. I'm going to be that person that writes a book one day to give somebody else inspiration, because I've told a little bit of the cliff notes of my story right now. But if you could see, I can't even put words to it. Just know that it keeps getting better when you choose you. So settle into your body right now. Just take a few breaths. Shake it out. You are safe in your body. You are safe with your mind, with your head. You can learn to work with yourself to get to where you want to go. You can bring your ideas to life, because whatever has been placed in your heart is there for a reason. Because you are destined to do that. So ditch the fear. Ditch the worry, ditch the doubt. Claim your fullest self and start making decisions from there right now. Because yes, we can understand our traumas, get the validation, we can do the rewiring, but the key is integrating it into your current life and embodying that from here on out. So devote to yourself right here, right now, that you will start choosing you. And if you need to rewatch this video or come up with your own little mantra in your head of reminding yourself to do that every day, do it. There is no greater gift than when you are you. Because there's no one like you. How freaking cool. You are the only one that can bring your gifts to this planet. The only one. So what are you waiting for? We're sitting around here waiting for you. It's your time to freaking shine. I could keep babbling on about how cool you are without even knowing you for the rest of the day. So I'm going to wrap myself up. Sure, I'll be back here tomorrow. And start choosing you, because I promise it just keeps getting better. I love you big. Have a stellar rest of your day.